Opportunities are usually disguised as hard work, so most people don't recognize them. And landers. Greetings to everyone and welcome to this program, Vivid View with Ehilis. Plenty thanks to God. Vivid View.
Say and do it.
Equals makes friends, they say, but most people undermine this simple fact. They take decisions for selfish reasons and miss out at the long run. So dealing with under and over qualified spouse is the topic for today. It is time for a break, and when we come back, the guests will be introduced. Please stay tuned. Vivid View.
Say and do it.
Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, the topic has been introduced as dealing with under and overqualified spouse. With me in the studio is a public speaker. Let's make welcome Mr. Sydney Akimoladon.
Vivid View. Say and do it.
Before discussion proper, please follow us on social media handles are displayed on the screen. You're welcome again.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Without wasting time, let's just go straight to the business of the day. So, do we have your background on this issue?
Yes. My name is Sydney, as known, and I do a lot of things, amongst which I'm a public speaker.
Yeah.
I'm a renewable energy expert, and also the president and founder of Sydney Akimoladon Ministries.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what is your background understanding or knowledge on the above topic?
Well, I would like to say first and foremost that there are certain facts we should establish before we actually attack the topic for today, and that is the fact that marriage is an institution. It is an institution. It's more than a union. An institution that is centered on the very creator and author of it.
And ordained by God too.
Exactly, that's my point.
Yeah.
God is actually the author and creator of marriage. You know, in my own understanding, he has what I describe as the blueprint, the legal and even the moral, spiritual framework for which marriage must be built. Mm-hmm. Anytime you remove the God factor from marriage, we begin to see and experience issues or challenges that people are going through today. So when we talk about the fact that you have a qualified or an unqualified spouse in a relationship, if actually it was built on the right foundation, then that shouldn't have been an issue. It shouldn't have been an issue in the first place. Yeah. So because, you know, when God created marriage in the very first place, I like to also mention this, that he first of all gave man work. He gave man work. He said, till the garden, then after that, when he saw that man was doing well, he brought him an helper. He said there in scriptures that it was not good for man to be alone. So marriage is more than a union, it's more than companionship. It is a completion and not a competition.
That's good.
So when you talk about whether people are qualified or not qualified, it's still a mystery to man how two people can come together and at the end of the day, they are referred to as one.
From different backgrounds.
You're talking about distinct, unique individuals.
Exactly.
You know, maybe different tribes and all of that. So eventually they come together and you refer to them as one. That is a mystery in itself. So what you do to one, you do to the other. So if my wife isn't qualified, or if my husband isn't qualified, in whatever sense of it, we're going to be looking at it today, it tells me then that I need to do something to qualify her.
Bernie, thank you so much. All right. That takes me to the next question. So, with analysis now, can we say that a man marrying a woman more professionally qualified than the man, or any more money, and vice versa? Is it, how do you look at that?
You know, when you talk about qualification, then move over to the aspect of money, we're actually looking at different things here. You know, I tell people that education is never enough. Knowledge is what any man should strive for. Because education will only put those things that have been studied by people over the years in your head, but knowledge will give you the right information, and when you apply it very well, which is wisdom, then you are able to do better in whatever area or field of life. So the knowledge about marriage can only be obtained from the Creator himself. So when you use, I usually tell people, there is no one size fits all when it comes to relationship. There is no one size fits all. So whether you read a book, you have to apply yourself in that particular institution or field where you find yourself. When you talk about people being qualified, I'm going to use myself for an example. My wife holds a BSc, and I hold an HND, from an higher institution. It was never a problem. It was never a problem for us. It may be a problem for others, but it was never. Why? And that brings me to my other point, that a marriage without a vision will eventually end in a crash, a collapse, or a failure. So, every marriage must have a vision. Because I mentioned today that a marriage is an institution. It is more than a union. So if it's an institution, then it has to have a vision. Where are we going? What do we need to do? Because if you're, okay, I read somewhere, somebody made this, comment. When young people start looking for a spouse, you hear all kind of outrageous requirements. The guy needs to be tall. He needs to be this. He needs to, she needs to have this, and she needs to have that.
And all that.
Somebody asked, since I married my wife for 18 years now, what has tall got to do with the marriage? Nothing, absolutely not. I don't play basketball, so what do I need tall?
All those stuff.
Exactly. So when it comes to whether the woman or man is qualified, what exactly is the vision? For example, recently somebody told me that the wife of someone he knows traveled overseas and she didn't come back. Eventually she married another man there, and my question was, what was their vision before they got married? Because there was no synergy of vision, she went for her own vision. So each time people come together, especially young people, when you want to marry, please throw away the mundane things and look for a man that has vision. Otherwise, like they say, if you don't have a vision, you will soon end up watching other people on television.
Wow. Thank you so much, Sydney. Your own case you use because there's no ulterior motive. Because your motive of marrying your wife is not because she's more qualified, what you gain from her when you marry her, because she has BS and all that. It's also vice versa. Exactly. So it's working.
It is.
But when some people do, they have ulterior motive. Oh, let me go. The father of this lady has money, so let me key in so that I'll benefit from there. You understand? And so the love is not really there. It's because of material benefits. And so it will not last. It becomes an issue. I have cases too where some, especially with Igbos, Easterners, those days anyway, they would want to train their wives to university level. They themselves barely qualify from primary 6, selling in the market and all that. But they train the missus in, to graduate level. Sometimes they go to the four corner of university and meet somebody else and say, no, that one is an illiterate. I can't go back to that again. This is where the problem lies and all that. So that is why we're bringing to discuss. And the first thing you said, strike me. You said it depends on what you want, the vision for it. So if you misplace it, like I mentioned in my introduction, it's going to be an issue. It's going to be an issue. Market breaking here and there, divorce here and there, because of some of these things we'll take a break now, come back, continue. Vivid View.
Sing and do
it.
This is Vivid View.